Welcome back to my urban edible organic rooftop garden. A couple of years ago, I had posted a video named Think Beyond One Plant Per One Pot on YouTube, and that received some views and some compliments. Thank you so much for that. I'm very glad that the video was useful to you. For those of you who haven't seen that video, the link to that YouTube video is given in the description of this video. Do check that out. And for somebody who's new, obviously you're going to check that video out, but I'll simply explain what I was actually speaking in that video. I had planted a brinjal, and along with the brinjal in the same container I had put some spinach, onions and a little bit of coriander. The idea of think beyond one plant per one pot is to be able to grow more than one variety in the same container, looking at various relations and benefits between those varieties, and that way you would be able to harvest more out of a single container and you will be having diversity of produce. So it's not necessary that you need to do that, because after posting that video a lot of people thought that is the right kind of gardening. It is just another way of gardening. There are no rules, there are no fixed rules, and it is like you can do it, but you need not must and should do it. So now in this video I am going to add a little more to the same concept. Before I actually start describing the whole thing, I am going to show you something that is right in front of me. It might seem a little that I am hiding behind them, but I'll show you what is actually growing here. This is an aubergine, and I have a zinnia here. That's just for diversity and to add color to the garden and to attract various kind of bees and pollinators and beneficial insects and stuff. So that I have here, and it just started flowering. The aubergine started flowering, and some of it started fruiting as well. This is where you can see that, and underneath the aubergine I have some coriander. On this side I have some coriander that is growing, and here I have a little bit of spinach, which is a little weak. I hadn't watered this container for a while now, and the soil is a little dry, so I'm going to do some deep watering today and let it grow with some vigor and flourish well. So this is one container I have. The other container that you see in front of me, this one here, what is this? This is amaranth. This is good, lush, very tenderly green amaranth that is right in front of me, that is ready to harvest, that is looks very juicy and good to harvest today. Actually, it would have been good if I harvested it about 3 days back, because the tops have just started to seed, and the moment it starts to seed, the leaves start become more fibrous. So I'm going to harvest this today. Now I repeat, this is a container of amaranth. You don't believe me, right? You actually believe me, but I'll show you. This is not just amaranth. I'm just going to harvest this amaranth now, and I'm going to reveal what is there inside. Let me harvest from the front side, and ideally if I was intending to grow amaranth in this container, I would have been harvesting only the tops and not the entire stalk. I would have been harvesting only the tops, but I don't want amaranth to grow here forever. This is just one cycle that I want my amaranth to grow here, and a little bit of harvesting immediately shows you what is growing inside. What is this? This is my aubergine. You see that? This is my aubergine that was planted first, and then I had quickly planted some amaranth in the same container, and then I had planted some amaranth in the same container, so that by the time aubergine grows up and takes over and starts flowering, I'll have one harvest of the amaranth. The same thing I was mentioning in that video where I had put spinach. You could be putting some fenugreek, you could be putting some coriander or any other such small leaves. I had not suggested amaranth in that particular video, and somebody asked me why not amaranth, and I said you need to stack things together based on their beneficial relations and their characteristics. Like okay, let me just finish this. You can stack things together based on the time relation of harvest, based on their root relations, and when I say root relations, you see there's a brinjal, and this takes quite some time, say about from seed for it to start flowering and start fruiting, it takes about 65 to 80 days. Any average variety takes about 65 to 80 days. So within that time, say after on the 25th or 30th day of the seedling that when you plant, and until before the 70th day, within that frame of time you could get a harvest, 1 or 2 harvests of different kinds of leaves. If you start putting fenugreek, you will get that in 9 days, and fenugreek is going to fix a little bit of nitrogen into your soil back, and it's going to act as a live mulch as long as it is there. And it also helps in pest control and avoid any kind of fungal diseases that attack the main plant. You could be growing only one plant in that container, but when you have 3 or 4 based on their relationships, like in the other video I had planted some garlic, some onion and coriander. Now for the fragrance and the pungent smell of the coriander and garlic, a lot of pests do not even come around the brinjals, most of the flies, and that keeps the brinjals pretty safe. Coming to root relations, you do not want anything that goes much deeper and starts competing with the main plant. If you look at the list of spinach, coriander and fenugreek, all these are shallow rooted stuff. So when you have them, all they are taking nutrition from only the top half of the container, wherein the roots of the brinjal, the main plant, actually go deep inside and are taking nutrition from the bottom, where there is also a lot of moisture. Now you are using the same amount of water in the same container. Amaranth is usually not suggested because it has a long taproot that goes deep inside, but I just wanted to show it to you guys, so I had put it here. Though I had harvested this now, there's some more to be harvested. These are going to grow back. So there are 2 ways of dealing with this once I do this. Also, mind you, I tell you, when you put something like amaranth being a nitrogen weed takes away a lot of instantly, quickly available nitrogen. This is one of the reasons why you will have a lot of amaranth growing in your containers, and you will have a lot of voluntary native amaranth growing in your containers, because that's like it quickly takes away the available nitrogen and starts growing. So make sure you can do it. If you do it the right way. Harvest it once, and you could leave it as it is, but these are going to grow back. Put some more leaves. Now from here, it's your call. You can take it whichever way you want. As I said, this is success. You can call this successive planting, or you call this stacking in time. What I am going to do is, I don't want the amaranth to regrow in this container and start competing with the brinjal, which already is a little weak comparatively. These two were planted together. Now you see, this is already a little weak just because of the amaranth I had put. Wherein in the other case, I have a little bit of coriander and spinach, and that's doing all fine. So here I am going to remove the amaranth as much as possible. I am not disturbing the roots. I am not pulling it out I'm not uprooting them, because if I do that, that is going to disturb the root structure of the brinjals. So I don't want that to happen. So I'll clip off all that tops and as much as possible. I will not uproot any of it. And by the way, all this, nothing of this goes waste, because this will be fed to my worms. I have a worm bin, and all this is excellent food for my worms. And all the roots that are left inside the container, they are going to turn into excellent compost. I am going to add a few worms into the container itself, and that is going to, the worms are going to be in action inside the container, and I am going to add some compost tea. Once I do that, so I am clipping them off as much as possible. I had cleared that, and I'm going to do something different now. Such a cumbersome process. It is, you can do it once in a while, and I don't have a container ready to put all this waste somewhere. I'll be carrying that into my rooms. Okay, I had almost cleared all of the tops here, all of those stalks that are peeping out, and left the roots intact. I haven't disturbed the soil much, though the top soil has been disturbed a little, but that is okay. You just need to be a little careful, and I'm pretty much done with this. Now what am I going to do? Now this is lacking a little bit of nitrogen is what I feel, though it's really healthy. And there are lots of roots of the amaranth inside, and the amaranth has taken away some nitrogen. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, water it a little, give it some water, and then I'm going to add some, you could add some compost. I'm adding some potting mix that I have ready, just a layer of it. I'm going to add some potting mix, and then on top of that, this is fenugreek. I'm going to put another round of methi, fenugreek. What's going to happen? Methi, I'm going to get a harvest of methi in about 9 days, and as I said, that will help me as mulch, and that's going to fix a little bit of nitrogen. And if there are any differences in the soil nutrition, I think this should help me balance it back, and that should be enough, not much. Not necessary that you need to plant your methi like this. A lot of people do it in different ways. I am a little unorganized, and I just love to be a little free with the way I seed and do that. And after you put the methi, water it thoroughly. Some seeds are going to get exposed, but that is okay. Give it a good round of water. The top is going to become wet, but I am also looking at some deep watering and the water going deep inside and giving a lot of moisture to the brinjal as well. And that should be it. And after this, once in about 9 days, once I harvest the methi, I probably then plant some garlic and a couple of onions, and then maybe I'll put some coriander in it. I have sown some fenugreek, that is methi, in this container again, and I probably get a harvest in about 9 to 12 days. Methi usually takes that much time, and I'm going to take another harvest of that, and the brinjal will do all fine as long as I'm giving it some nutrition and a little bit of water and compost tea or things like that. So that's it from here. This is how you need to think. I repeat you, it's not necessary that you need to think that way, but people who have really small space and really who can manage only a few containers, it's not necessary that you need to grow only one variety per container. Like I tell you, the brinjal is growing slowly, and one harvest of amaranth, this is like enough for one family for a day. A family of 3 or 4, I think this is enough for a day, and that's good. You have 5 or 10 pots like this. Imagine the kind of diversity and harvest that you're going to have. In one pot have coriander, in another one have palak, that is spinach, in another one have fenugreek, in another one have maybe amaranth, or in another one have something else, and this way you could keep harvesting things. I do mention this in a lot of my classes, and people mistaken it to be like this is the right way of gardening. Not necessary. It is a choice. And yes, there were some questions when people asked me, okay, that will not give 100% produce of the brinjals. I'd say if say 10 brinjals per plant is the 100% produce, this way it might give you 7 or 8, but look at the cumulative produce that you're getting. You are going to get methi, you're going to get onion stalks, you're going to get garlic stalks, you're going to get some coriander, spinach, and whatnot. So a lot of things, and look at the beneficial relationships that are being formed within the container with respect to coriander and brinjal, garlic and brinjal, and between spinach and coriander, things like that. So that's it. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. I wanted to share with you. Do practice. Do let me know how your thing came up. It's always a great feeling when you give an idea and others try it out and give you a feedback. Ask me any question that you have regarding this, and I am going to answer. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to me. Do subscribe. Stay tuned. I am going to rock you guys with lots and lots of informative stuff.